The Innervibe Show on S-Ence Radio. This is Yas Alexander. Let's go.
Hello, good evening, and welcome to another edition of the Innervibe Show on the 21st of April, 2013.
Greetings.
Oh yeah, hi.
Okay.
Greetings.
Spotless isn't on now today.
She's half asleep.
Calling Zara. She's got lateral trouble.
Yeah, possibly, yeah.
Yes, today we have on the show ABB, AstralBooBaby.
Boo baby.
AstralBooBaby, that's his name, yeah?
AstralBooBaby.
Cool name, isn't
And
it?
you can ask him why when he comes on, yeah? Okay.
Hello.
Yeah, he's been astral traveling for quite a long time now, very experienced in that field. So we'll be talking to him shortly via Skype, so please stay tuned for that. So ladies, how's your day been?
Yeah, it's been chilled, I suppose.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm thinking about this guy going to see aliens. I'm sorry, my day's been okay.
Alright.
No, because the Astro thing.
Yeah, go on.
Yeah, the
Let's go.
Astro thing. I'm thinking about like him going to see aliens and like talking to them.
Okay.
That's what's in my mind. I'm not thinking about how I had today. Was it good or not? So yeah.
Well, this is like the first time you've heard of astral projection, so yeah, it'll be good.
Wow.
It's a good educational show for all of us.
Definitely.
From Baby Boo Astro Man.
AstralBooBaby.
Oh, AstralBooBaby, sorry. My mind registers things back to front.
I've noticed. It's all good. It's all good. So, any news today? What's happening in the news today? On top of your head, ladies, do you know what's happening in the world?
No.
The Boston bombings.
Yeah.
Let's not even go there, eh?
Yeah. It's too many
Do you know what I
things.
mean? Just nonsense, really. I mean, it's not nonsense, but I mean, of course, people have. Did anyone die, by the way?
Well, from what I've been hearing, like nothing adds up because at work, in fact, people like obviously who aren't into conspiracy theories or stuff, they were talking about things at work, like clients, and they were saying it doesn't make sense because they say on the news. On the news, it was saying that, oh yeah, a little girl died who was 8 years old. But on the radio stations, when they report the Boston bombings, they say a little 8-year-old boy died.
Yeah.
So there's nothing's clear.
Wow.
So they were like, everyone's wondering, why is that happening? Why are they not being clear about whether it's a boy or girl?
Okay.
Or something.
That's interesting.
Or has someone even died, or you know what I mean?
It's fabrication if they don't know who it is exactly. It wouldn't be real.
Yeah.
It's interesting that people are asking questions.
They like, I don't get it.
That's a positive one.
Yeah. We can.
Maybe they'll start to ask questions about other things as well.
Maybe,
Or they'll
possibly.
just turn the EastEnders back on.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much. No, to be fair, like I don't have at my own place. I don't have internet connection. I've only got my phone. Don't have TV. So in a way, fortunately, but unfortunately, I don't really know what's going on in the world.
But I had the pleasure of watching some TV last night, actually.
Okay.
I'm just sitting there, as you guys know, I just watch TV.
Yeah.
And Britain's Got Talent was on. In what for Britain's Got Talent? A program called The Cube.
Oh yeah, my sisters talk about that.
Okay.
When they have like weird, is it the one they have weird tasks to do and they're stuck in a cube and they need to that's
complete
weird.
the task, yeah. I understand how people get stuck to it and glued to it. I mean, they're getting a second-hand experience of somebody else winning 50,000 or 200,000 pounds, whatever it is. I mean, they get emotionally attached that they want that person to win, which is a nice thought, of course. But I mean, the thought of just sitting there, just watching all that drivel on the TV, it's just I don't know how people manage to think other than it's just mad. Because after that was Jonathan Ross, and as the night progressed, it just seemed to get a bit more retarded. TV did. It's just.
Well, talking about Britain's Got Talent, I don't really watch it, but like I watched my family were watching an episode, and there was kids in the room as well, mind you, like, remember that. And then, like, I think this was last week's episode, there was one group, they were really good, they did, like, shadow whatever theatre, and it was actually really creative because they did, like, shadow puppets out of bodies, but, like, they were telling a story about war.
Okay.
So it was actually, that was really good.
Okay.
But then there was one...
They got through?
Yeah, they got through. They were from Hungary.
Okay.
So they're not British, so Hungary's got talent, definitely. This woman, she was from Britain. She was not talented. Okay, actually, depends how you look at it. Actually, she was basically came on and she was doing like chair. She's like, oh, I do chair exercise, and she was in this old granny skirt and granny top and stuff. And I just thought, oh God, what's this? And she was doing some arm exercises. I think I showed you the video as well. And then all of a sudden she started stripping.
I'm sure I showed you the video.
No, I showed you the video.
I'm sure I showed you the video.
No, I showed you.
Well, you guys watched it anyway.
I showed it to you. Anyway. Yeah, technical man knows that I showed it to you. And then she's like dancing like in front of children and stuff. She's dancing in this really sexy, provocative way, and like everyone and she's like a 50-year-old woman as well. And everyone in the crowd is like drooling, all the guys.
We saw the reactions of some of the people. They weren't really sure whether to be cheering or not at one point, and when they realised that everybody else was cheering, they joined in. It was, as I said, it was quite provocative, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was just like, okay, fair enough, you can do that in the bedroom for your man, but not in front of like women and children and men and little children, especially.
It's the norm, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's disgusting.
It was horrible, but anyway.
And you know this title of MILF, and it's going around, isn't it? Or even is it GILF as well?
GILF as well, yeah. I've heard that one, yeah.
I mean,
no, but what actually concerned me more is that afterwards, one of the judges, I can't remember his name, was like, oh yeah, Simon, you go up on stage. Right. So Simon stood in the chair, and then both the man judge and this woman started like seductively lap dancing Simon. Lord. But then do you know what was... Okay, I just think that, me personally, I was completely uncomfortable with that kind of shit anyway. But like, in the room, one of my relatives was just like, oh, it's not that bad because the man, whatever his name is, like, is it David or whatever? David, because he was dancing alongside the chairwoman, it wasn't too bad. It didn't look too sexual. But if it was just a chairwoman on her own dancing with Simon, then it would look bad, and I would be concerned. I'm like, are you concerned anyway? In general.
Wow.
It was concerning that he was doing it as well. You know what I mean?
The chairwoman and David.
It is getting more and more sexual, though. I mean, what is it? Britain's Got Talent or X Factor? Which one is it?
Which one?
What's on now?
Oh, it's Britain's Got Talent.
That's wow.
Wow, that's interesting. Yeah. I'd rather read a book.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I was doing that yesterday. I read a book called, what was it? Something about be happy, about your thoughts and how when you experience something, rather than say like to identify with the pain, you just say that you've experienced it. So like, you know how you get people who they worry about something before it happens, like, oh, I'm going to be late for work, rather than identifying with I am always late, I am bad, I am this.
Disassociation.
So that's a really, really interesting book. It's about the way your thoughts are and how your mind and your body are connected. So, and how you need to use it, because like, you know, when you feel unhappy or you feel really sad, then tears come, your body produces tears. It's a very, very interesting book actually. I'd rather sit and read that than...
looking at yourself from as a second or third person.
Exactly, because it makes a lot of sense. Like the guy that wrote the book, there was a guy who was... he does camps every year basically, and there's a guy who was half Chinese, half English, and because he's blind, he'd never seen himself. And this guy does like self-help or something about happiness workshops. And what he does is he gives them all like complaint bracelets. Okay. And with complaint bracelets, you've got to go through, I think it was 28 days without complaining. So every time you complain about something, you've got to take the bracelet from one hand and put it on the other. Anyway, this guy was telling this blind boy, you do not need others to tell you how to view yourself, because he said to him, I've never seen how I look, am I beautiful? He's like, I don't need to tell you that your beauty is within anyway. This is nothing but a body at the end of it. It's your soul that's very important. and the way that people, they pick up on their imperfections. Like I identify myself as an ugly duckling, so I'm expected to have an ugly heart, rather than I will grow up through life, rather than just go to becoming this beautiful swan at the end of it. So that book's very, very interesting. I feel like I was reading it.
Yeah, it's definitely better to help you self-reflect on yourself rather than focusing your energy on trash. Definitely.
So you think
meditation is all about, isn't it? Self-observation and so forth. I mean, that disassociation, a lot of toddlers do that. I mean, they say if the child's name is Tommy, you will say, "Oh, Tommy ate his breakfast today." So I mean,
praise yourself in the third person as well. Look at yourself inwards. That's like being in the center of, like being in a box and looking at everybody walking around the box. If you disassociate yourself with everybody else, you look at things in a bigger picture, I guess, rather than just close it in to be like, I've got to be like this, I've got to conform, got to. So I'm so glad I bought the Kindle. It's given me a lot of time to just sit and read and get to know myself as well through the books that I'm reading. And I like the thing about the complaint bracelets, because I've noticed I do that more. Like I've just got a normal band. It's the the Movember thing. Yeah. It's got like a mustache on it, like a mustache. So whenever I feel the need to complain, I complain and I'll be like, I need to move this from this hand to this hand. Okay. So it becomes a habit. Okay. So then I stop complaining once I have to move. It works with me because I stopped complaining. So it's good.
That's interesting though. That's like mind, body and spirit are all connected, which sort of like ties in nicely with AstralBooBaby, what he's going to talk about with the whole astral projection and explain that a bit more.
So we're going to take a short break and come back and
call him in.
Meet an alien.
You want to meet an alien?
I want to meet an alien. Okay. I had a weird conversation yesterday with a man who said he saw aliens.
Okay.
Oh wow. He was like 50-something years old.
Oh right, okay.
But yeah, he was like, he said, aliens are black. They're not white, because white man's a devil. I was like, whoa, okay.
Anyway, let's go to a short break.
Sorry.
So what's been up?
Nothing much. What about you?
Just chilling, seeing what's right. You to come through?
Yeah, well, I figured it was about time.
What are you getting into tonight?
Yeah, the lights are all low. We're out of Carlo Rossi. I don't know what we do now, but okay, I can show you a few things, and then you can show me a few things. Deal. Yeah, get in the mood. Just lay back. Yeah.
It's the way I feel about you, baby. 'Cause you know that I need you. I do need you, baby. Oh, it's the way I feel about you, baby. 'Cause you know that I need you. I do need you, baby. Oh, stuck in your dreams, you can call me a fiend. I want your loving, come on, why don't you give it to me? Easy or maybe fast, freeze frame every flashing moment, and we remain here, clearing the open, hoping I'm not a flash in your pan. I'm like a little kid wishing I was holding your hand. Between the class, we can dip under the bleacher. Let me teach you a thing, or maybe two, me and you, baby boo. It's a plan that spans beyond here and now. Like, wow, you move me, take me, make me loopy. Fiasco, ask no question, I'm your answer. Let's begin to advance forever and master the why, the what, the how, whatever the stanza. This is for us, so wanderlust must have, puff, pass, and touch. Another part of what we thought was enough. I'm right here, never fear, shift gears with your foot off the clutch and just hush. It's the way I feel about you, baby. 'Cause you know that I need you. I do need you, baby. Oh, it's the way I feel about you, baby. 'Cause you know that I need you. I do need you,
you in the stereo non-stop. Can Mary go Harriet in a chariot? Various areas, vegetable say. Keep picture you getting carried away. Trying to get Paris to stay. Jean Gardner / rap song author caught her on film. All reals, all real. Call her and they'll be there. L7B square. Breakfast on the beach chair. Sunny side up is how we preach shit. Yeah, caught her on Z shit. Talking about I'll be there. Teach, don't tease, born to petite, rare breed, bear, breathe this free air. Keep like trees on it, good like greens folk. Nice like the breeze blowing, sunny California in the moon when the early when you're stoned in the red zone. Parked by the bedpost, open off the moments, hoping J's with your legs. Yeah, we talk about
It's the way you feel about you, baby. 'Cause you know that I need you. I do need you, baby. Oh, it's the way you feel, baby. 'Cause you know that I need you. I do need you, baby.
So Bree,
Yeah.
wanna do a song with me?
I don't know, you never asked.
Hit you up all the time.
Hey, girls like to be asked.
What was I supposed to say?
You're supposed to call me up. And what that voice you're supposed to say.
It's the way you feel about you, baby. 'Cause you know that I need you. I do need you, baby. Oh, it's the way you feel about you, baby.
The Innervibe Show on S-Ence Radio. This is Yaz Alexander. Let's go.
Yes.
Yeah, so we're back, people. So we were just talking then briefly about the news and stuff, but I think now we're gonna go just straight into it.
Yeah, shortly.
Shortly.
Yeah, you can catch AstralBooBaby website www.astralboobaby.net. That's AstralBooBaby.net. And his YouTube channel, AstralBooBaby, same spelling. Yep. Here's one of his quotes. I am here to use my voice, talents, visions and revelations to uplift, inspire, inform, encourage and empower any or all who are receptive. Shackle the body, enslave the person. Shackle the mind, enslave generations. Free your mind, AstralBooBaby.
Nice one.
Dare to be the impossible.
That's good.
Yes, so we're gonna shout to Mahala. In fact, first of all,
Yeah. Waiting in anticipation.
Should I be dabbing at two? What's up with that dude? Flexing and collecting like yeah, I'll do whatever you want to do. Baby, give me nothing like blue. It's magical what you do.
Yeah. AstralBooBaby coming in. Well,
Sure.
in a second. Seems to be having a bit of difficulty getting him in actually.
Okay. Now, well, for those who are listening and wondering what that was actually AstralBooBaby's theme song. That's actually cool. Play it again.
Send it to me, I want to add it as a ringtone.
Here we go. Should I be dabbing at two? What's up with that dude? Flexing and collecting like yeah, I'll do whatever you want to do. Baby, give me nothing like blue. It's magical what you do.
I like that. Do you know what? Because I'm gonna set that as my ringtone for certain people who call me.
Yeah. That's what I was gonna do.
Is that AstralBooBaby?
Yes, family.
Greetings.
Greetings.
Greetings. Hello to everyone out there.
Yes, how you doing, bro?
I am doing great.
Good. Let me introduce you to the team, my co-hosts for the night, Roslyn Blue
Hi.
and Sparks.
Hello.
Hello, Rosalind and Sparks. Lovely ladies indeed.
And we've also got our technical guy in the background. Say hi, technical guy.
Hi, AstralBooBaby.
Hey, technical guy.
Yeah. He does actually have a name as well.
We just call him the technical guy.
Yeah. He's got a ring to it, hasn't he?
He has a very important job.
Yeah.
And I've got to big him up because without him, we couldn't do any of this. So
absolutely,
no doubt.
All play a very important role in the wheel of life. Let me tell you, in so many ways.
That's right.
In multi-dimensional ways, might I add.
Yeah. The unsung hero. His head's swelling a bit now.
Yeah, you can tell. He tilted his head. Look, the way your hands positioned is different as well.
Well, that's what I do.
Should I read your body language?
That's what I like to do. I love to encourage and inspire and help people to realize their truest potential and the importance they play in their respective lives and within the collective. So whenever I get a message or that kind of feedback, it reinforces my purpose. This is absolutely what I'm supposed to be doing.
Yeah, no doubt. And I know that from watching some of your videos, and they're really inspiring. Even though, as I said earlier to you, I have tried to do astral projection myself a couple of times and failed miserably. I may add. But our co-host Sparks doesn't know what astral projection is. In fact, she had quite a good guess actually, and she did say that are we going to go and see aliens today?
Yeah.
Well, if one is experienced enough or knowledgeable enough on how to control their mind and master and center themselves, it is quite possible to see what we will call aliens or extraterrestrials or interdimensional beings. But let me explain what astral projection is. And people call it astral projection, but it's also AKA astral travel, soul travel, out-of-body travel. There's so many different names, but I choose to use astral travel because it just has more of a resonance for me. And what it is when we sleep, the soul, the spirit, the core, whatever you want to call it, does not sleep. It does not need sleep. And what happens is, just like a computer that's on sleep mode, there is an aspect, or those multidimensional aspects of ourselves that is not bound by the computer, that is still conscious, that is still experiencing and learning and growing beyond our human physical perspective. And what has happened and what is happening is that most people are not consciously in sync with their greater consciousness or their multidimensional perspectives enough to bring the memories of those travels, those interactions into their 3D dense physical reality. But for some reason, there are those of us who have overridden that blockage and can therefore bring forth these experiences, these interactions, and of course, from the perspective of those of us who cannot or are not able to remember or bring those memories into their respective physical lives, the things that we share will sound outrageous, impossible, and crazy. But I'm here to tell you that every living being astral project. All humans astral project. Of course, some more than others. Some of us have an advantage more so than others. But again, if we're not all aware of what those advantages are, or even that we're capable of doing these things, everyone is really in the same boat at the end of the day, regardless as to how much or how powerful we are in decoding multi-dimensional realities. And this is a very real phenomenon. I had created my channel AstralBooBaby in 2008 with the intent to openly talk about my many revelations and experiences regarding astral projection and interdimensional interactions. But I had a very active life at the time. And I'm also I'm very well known to be a procrastinator. So the two combined was kind of keeping me from getting to my purpose. And just like some of the greatest teachers ever walked the planet have said, if we don't get into our purpose, the universe has a very interesting way of getting us into it, and many times it manifests in ways that may seem like challenges and hardships, but it's really to get us where we need to be. So without going into a lot of detail, I fell into a state where I lost. Hello?
Yeah, we still here.
I hear some a commercial or something. Oh, you know what? I'm sorry. Let me turn this. Okay, that's what it is. I thought I lost you guys for a second. Okay. So when I had started veering away from my purpose within the time frame that I should have been doing, I had a series of events. Oh, here we go again.
I think it's from ABB side.
Okay.
You're party up in there.
Without us.
Yeah, without us.
Okay, what is going on here? Hold on. I thought I closed this window.
It's okay.
Okay, I'm sorry about that, guys. When I got off my path, there was a series of things that had happened that had gotten me into getting and focusing more attention into what I had created my YouTube channel for. And so when I created the channel, I just started openly talking about my experiences, and I mean, it was like opening Aladdin's lamp. I mean, you know, the response just exploded. And what I found was that even though there weren't a lot of people around me who could relate to what I was talking about and didn't really understand the things that I would talk about, there were people from all over the world, all walks of life, ages, religious beliefs, etc., who was resonating with what I was saying because they too had been having astral projection experiences and revelations, but was too afraid to openly talk about them. So it was then that I knew that myself and many of us had to start opening up a dialogue about this so that more of us start coming out and openly sharing our experiences so that we bring more awareness to this. And it is true, there are still some of us who have never heard of these things, but again, that is why I use my voice, my talents, my story to bring awareness to this, because I understand that we are going through a shift. Our DNA is mutating, the planet is going through a rebirthing process. And because we're all basically atoms, and ironically, my latest video is touching on this. Atoms are hollow, and they vibrate at different frequencies, and atoms also split. So what is happening right now is that we're incrementally going into a vibratory split. That means from an earth perspective, from the nature perspective, from a human physical perspective. And as this occurs, the veil between these dimensional worlds are beginning to thin, and even the most narrow-minded or the most fearful of these things will start experiencing things that they will not be able to run away from. And it's all the more reasons why I need more of us to come forth and talk about these things, so that when people start seeing things and experiencing things that they thought was just crackpot or stuff, you know, related to those new agers, which people constantly try to put that brand on me, which I'm not a new ager. When people start experiencing these things themselves, they will be able to handle it more or less. It's to quell a lot of the confusion and the fear that is likely to come when things like this begin to manifest in our respective lives. That includes interdimensional beings that we call aliens, gnomes, fairies. All of these things really do exist. You know, what I found throughout my life is that this world is really an upside down, fragmented, holographic version of the true greater reality. So just about everything that we've been socially engineered to accept and have been taught to be as truth by the system really is the reverse of that. And I can't stress that point enough. So I'm sorry, I'm a little long-winded and I'm very communicative and highly expressive. So just bear with me. I really need to get this point across.
Yeah.
So my voice and my revelations are here to freely share with all who are receptive to it, but it's also to prepare those of us who have yet to come into this reality of what is to come.
So, if this is the case, if people will be witnessing more of these anomalies, entities, and so forth, is there a chance that the rate of what's the word I'm looking for without offending? Like crazy people. I mean, not retarded. People would be admitted for the perception of them being crazy.
Well, you know, I have always said that those that we deem as crazy, people who say they hear voices and can see things that the majority cannot, these people most of the time are not crazy. They're in a world that they simply cannot relate to, cannot understand. It's not experiencing the multi-dimensional nature, truth of reality. And so because they are isolated and because most people believe that where they are is the true nature of reality, it's very easy for those who are isolated to believe that they are crazy. And what happens is that though the system is set in place to drug up and lock down those people and to sell them as crackpot and crazy, and they end up becoming crazy. I mean, it ends up becoming a self-fulfilled prophecy. So these people really are ahead of the curve. They're just open. They just had an awareness that most of us do not. Some of us have an extra sensory perception and awareness that we tap into randomly, or we can go into it and pull out. But there are those who are just open all the time. I mean, and so in many ways, these people are a reminder of why many of us, which is a blessing in disguise for many of us, why it is blocked off, because I know that a lot of us would not be able to handle having this kind of interaction. It would drive us crazy, especially if it challenges everything, those experiences challenges everything that we've ever been taught to be fact or real. One more thing about that, I used to work, ironically, with a young lady who was just out of college. She was working at what we would call a crazy farm. And she and I, we would talk about these things. And she told me that when she came out of college, she worked at a mental illness facility. And as she interacted with all these different people from different walks of life, she found there was a common thread in the things that they would talk about, the things that they would see. And she had a revelation. She said, I realized that these people were not crazy. These are people who were tapping into something that the powers that be want us to believe are crazy, so that we not consider the true reality of these things. And she resigned. She stopped playing a role in basically drugging up and really contributing to these people's true mental illness. What we should be doing as a society is taking these people and helping them to manage and understand what is happening to them, rather than labeling or branding them as crazy. So you're going to find that there are going to be a lot of people, and it's already started, because like I said, I get emails and letters from all over the world all the time, where everyday people are having these experiences. And I'm talking about people who are considered highly respected, have very respectful positions. They have very important roles or roles that we brand as important in society. But again, these people are not going to openly come out and talk about these things for the same reason that we are talking about now. They don't want to be seen or thought of as crazy or out of touch with reality.
I mean, if this is the case, then there will be a lot of cases, because as you know yourself, there's a lot of people who aren't aware of what occult information, esoteric knowledge, and metaphysics and so forth. So how do you think? Do you think it's just going to be the case of people thinking that they are crazy and that the institutions will profit from that.
Well, you know, in smaller pockets, yes, but when this happens on a grand scale, absolutely not, because we will have a consensus on what the nature of reality is. It's very easy to drug someone up and label them as crazy when the majority is disconnected and have these different programs that they've been taught since birth that's driving their perspective of reality, when the minority is truly experiencing the multidimensional nature of reality. But when it happens on a massive scale, absolutely not. They would not be able to do that. What they will do and what they have been doing, which of course has been done to me, is these videos and these smear campaigns to try to discredit the things that we are saying. Even though I have done videos where I clearly touched on and explained things from an astral projection experience that scientists are now bringing forth to light. How is it that a little black boy who grew up in the ghetto, who was never exposed to any of this stuff, know of things that modern science and even some of the most respected spiritual leaders are coming out and sharing? I was never exposed to any of this stuff. The obvious is pretty evident. I am obviously tapping into something that is very real. So when we have people who are actually looking at those older videos that I've done and seeing the information that is coming out now, and even some of the predictions that I made, I'm seeing now where not only is my presence being aggressively suppressed and censored on the internet, but now I'm seeing more people coming in and trying to discredit my character. And so this is really how we can tell those who are just charlatans, speaking out of their behinds, and those of us who come from a pure and genuine place. One of the reasons why people do resonate with me, regardless of age, race, gender, because I don't get caught up into all that stuff, because I know all those things are just an illusion. But those people who resonate with me is mostly because they also feel what I'm saying. They feel the pureness and the general honestness that I project in my videos. People can tell I'm not making this stuff up. And I'm a pretty sensible person. I'm independent. I've always been a facilitator of my own ship, so to speak, since the age of 13. I've managed to become very successful in my own right in many ways, against tremendous odds, against being an outcast, a black sheep, and all these things. I'm not on drugs. I've never broken the law. I've never been in trouble. I'm a very kind, honest, and respectful person. And the last thing I would ever want to do is mislead and deceive people, which I am being accused of, again, which is a part of that smear campaign. So again, it's not just what I share, it's what I have shown in relation to my videos past and the information that's come out now, and also what people feel from me when they watch my video, the pureness, the honesty.
You can tell just by listening to his voice as well. The honesty in your words, you can tell.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear her. She sound sort of this.
Oh, the honesty that I hear when you speak, you can tell by the tone of voice that you're using. I don't need to see you to know that your words are honest. It's just through your voice.
Thank you.
So, Astral, AstralBooBaby.
Yeah.
Oh, ABB.
Yeah, back to front. Baby Boo Astral.
If, say for instance, someone wanted to start, getting into astral projection and stuff, I know, there's not really one sort of rigid way to do it, but how would someone, sort of start getting into it?
Okay, well, my angle is to not really help people to focus on how to astral project per se. My whole angle has always been to move out of the fear, to start questioning everything that we've ever been taught as truth, to keep an open mind, to begin balancing ourselves through eating mostly raw, organic foods. And I will go more into this later on, why one of the main reasons for us not being able to tap into our multi-dimensional capabilities is because we are living an unnatural life, meaning we are living in fear. We are running programs that are not of our own. We have belief systems that are not of our own. We are suppressing our authentic self, authentic expressions. We are too distracted by the physical world. We are too focused in paying attention to other people's businesses and, you know, celebrity focus. All these things are there as a distraction. So what my angle really is to first bring awareness to the subject matter so that is there and that becomes a part of our everyday conscious reality, and to encourage people to eat better, to meditate, to do things to raise our vibrations. There are many ways to do that, to reconnect with nature, to go back and connect with our ancestors, be it through meditation or be it through prayer, if that is so your choice. Again, my whole angle is to get the mind, body, spirit, core, or whatever you want to call it, in sync, in balance, one with nature. And what will happen is naturally all of those things will start to come in, and not only will people be balanced and connected with the all, they will see much and more of the things that myself and many others have been talking about for themselves. They don't need a middleman. So I'm gearing people to a point of not relying on techniques and a middleman to see these things. It is all about encouraging people to discover these things on their own within the timeline that is most conducive for them.
So it is about trying to get their body in shape, basically, first before they try and get their mind there, because it's impossible for you to train your mind if your body's not right.
Exactly. The two works as a system. Absolutely. The both has to be in sync with one another, and they both have to be clear and as balanced as possible. We're not going to always be, completely balanced all the time. We all will fall off. We all will slip back or whatever. But the intent should always be to strive to maintain that balance, because we are really in a chaotic world, and it's very difficult to stay balanced when you have a 3D life to sustain, you have children, you have jobs, you still have careers, you have all these worldly distractions in place. So it really becomes a lifestyle change. And this is the thing, a lot of people, they want an instant answer, something real quick that will get them there. But I'm here to say that it's going to take a concerted effort. It's going to take discipline and focus. But I guarantee you, and again, I've gotten feedback from people from all over the world who have done this, and they have had their first astral projection and out-of-body experience when it was right for them to move out. Because one of the reasons I would like to say that I like to get people core and the mind balanced and centered when experiencing these things, instead of just telling them how to do it, is because if we take our fear and beliefs and conditioning into the astral plane, which is very mental, meaning the minute we think and believe something, it will instantly manifest before us and could create a situation where we will never want to go back, meaning we would be so terrified of the experience that we would literally shut ourselves off. And I don't want to promote fear whatsoever. So my main focus and main point is to let people know that when and if we get to a point where we raise our vibration high enough and have that astral projection experience, it will be a positive one, because we will not be vibrating in a reality in mind and body on a level where those conditionings and those programs that are very fear-based are vibrating on. Does that make sense? Yeah,
that's what the system within the UK, I think within the US is the same. We have, the Stratton Healthcare unit that's here. The unit that we have here in Leicester, it's a lot of people who are sectioned within that unit because they don't understand, and they don't have the people around them who understand exactly their psychotic breakdowns and things like that. They're linked with negativity, so the doctors around them are very negative, too busy trying to section them and trying to put in all this medication to say, oh no, you're going through a psychotic breakdown, there's a chemical missing in your brain. So, like I understand from what you say, in order to get to the stage where you are, you need to try and ask as many questions and be surrounded by people with high vibrations more than anything. Because if you surround yourself with people who have a lot of negative energy, you feed off that and it becomes fear.
Absolutely, and this is a system. This earth, and I'm just going to be really frank with you guys, this earth really is a prison planet. It is a farm, and the farm farm exists from a physical perspective, and it exists from a multi-dimensional perspective, meaning we go out and we work these, a good friend of mine calls slave jobs, because we are slaves. Let's just be real about it. We're using our life force to make these corporations, these corporate entities, the system more powerful, and the system thrives off of that energy. It thrives off of our confusion. It thrives off of our misery, our hate, our fear, and there's that reinforcement there so that they can keep giving us tools and vices to keep that vicious cycle going. So on an interdimensional level, you have these parasitic forces who feed off of the energy that we give off when we are in misery and pain and suffering. Now, we gain something from that too. I don't want to make it look one side, but again, I feel like it's very important that people such as myself explain both sides of the coin. It's always a situation where, or a system where we're being fed one side and not the other, or there's some middle ground, but we're not even given that. I'd like to give both sides of the coin. Yes, we grow from pain, from hurt, we gain something out of it, but what's the point to keep staying in the same kind of pain, the same kind of hurt, and not really growing and learning from it? This is what we see happening on the planet. A lot of people are stuck, and that is being socially engineered to be that way. For instance, the African American community is a prime example of that. The African American community, or the black community across the world, honestly, has been targeted in this way. And you look at the conditions of, heavily melanated people all over the world, and we've been under these conditions for so very long. We have to stop and ask ourselves, why aren't we uniting and rising above all of this craziness after all this time? All of it is related to what I'm talking about right now. There are interdimensional forces who are using using their knowledge of these things and reversing it and socially engineering us to be disconnected from that knowledge, which we had at first, but we've fallen so far and we are so disconnected. And we obviously, if we were to connect, we would be the most natural at it. That's what's so ironic, about this whole thing. There are forces that don't want us to have that, so they promote all of this negative music, all this lust and sex, all the breaking up the family. The family for the African people has always been a village. That has been broken. Then you look at all the guns and the drugs that's been flooded in our community. Then you look at the division between the male and female relationship. I can go on and on and on. All of this stuff has been done by design. And these forces that I happen to have seen them, they're not human. They're not human intelligences. I'll just say that. But they are using.
Can we go into more of that then, maybe, if you don't mind?
Well, okay, where do I begin with that one? Well, there are interdimensional forces that cannot physically manifest and hold their state here for long because they don't have the vibratory coordinates to stay and be in this reality. So before we fell, these forces planted what you would call middle men to basically take stock from human DNA and mix it with these entities that we're talking about, these interdimensional entities, and create a hybrid or middle men to basically keep that connection between the Earth world and their world, to keep a connection. David Icke explained it very well. As a matter of fact, I don't know if you guys heard it. Well, of course you guys should have heard of him because he's from the UK.
Oh, David Icke.
Ironically, yeah, David Icke, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Ironically, I found him because the things that he was saying was in alignment with something that I was talking about with a former coworker. And the former coworker said, "Have you heard of David Icke?" And I said, "No, I never heard him." She was like, "You need to hear this guy. He's saying the exact same thing that you were saying." So I started looking and checking his work out and found that we are definitely in the same realm of understanding when it comes to this stuff. So yes, there are forces that have the positions of power, the greatest positions of power and influence on lock so that they can do their bidding. These are basically the earthly, these interdimensional beings are like the gods for these beings who are on earth, socially engineering this situation. And I'm not going to really get into the whole religion thing, but many people are following religion, following a god of these beings who are socially engineering and basically misleading them, unbeknownst to them. But again, it's one thing to try and warn people of these things, but it's another to just give them the right information where they can raise their vibration and wake up and see it for themselves. Right. This is how you get through, because so many people are very passionate about what they've come to believe and their God and so on and so forth. But I'm here to tell you that many of us are being misled and we are following the gods of the hybrids that are controlling and socially engineering our demise or our oppression, our prison cells, so to speak. And I can really go so deep on this, and it's very hard to do that without explaining some very basic things first and foremost. Maybe I can come back at another time and go in more detail.
Definitely.
But I really want to just bring the awareness to everyone regarding astral projection and what the gains and the benefits from astral projection, and when is the right time to astral project, and when is not so much the best time to do it.
Okay, but before we do go back into the astral projection thing, I wanted to ask you about these beings, because I've heard from different sources myself that they are from the fourth dimensional beings.
Yeah.
I've also heard, I mean, we get a lot of mixed messages that we're in the third dimension and we're also in the fourth dimension as well in this physical reality. I mean, could you clear that up, please?
Okay. Well, right now we are in the fourth. Many of us are in the fourth dimension, but we're not in fourth density, and I'll have to explain the difference between fourth dimension and fourth density. Fourth dimension is what is we can take our minds and able to sense. This is basically where the extrasensory, or what we call the senses, exist. It's what we can feel and hear and see in our mind's eye and access in the dream state. It's more than non-physical. That's the best way that I could explain fourth dimension. And fourth density is what we can physically see and interact with from a physical body perspective.
Right.
And, okay, so yes, we have entered into the fourth, the majority of us. Some of us are still in the third dimension in our minds, but the majority of us have moved into the fourth dimension, but none of us have actually made it into fourth density. We are incrementally going there. That has to be incremental because, it's just like too much light and information at one time. We will spontaneously combust. It has to be done incrementally because you're talking about taking your physical body from, it's like quantum leaping your physical body from third to fourth. If you were to do that instantaneously, the body would explode. It couldn't do it. So it has to be very incremental. Now, these interdimensional beings, yes, they operate from the lower fourth, and these are what the Christians call the demons or, devils. Many of them hang there, but also a lot of the negativity that we humans have created exists there. They kind of come up with their own consciousness and start feeding off of the energies that we have not transmuted. So much of these entities and much of these forces have been created by us, ironically. And so these entities are again, their biggest investment in this reality is keeping us as ignorant and detached and keeping as much negative energy going as possible, because that is their life force, because they're so disconnected by their own doing from the all. We still have, even though we have fallen and we're not in our true, full, natural God or goddess-like state, we still have one foot connected to the all. So we're being used as a middleman between the connection to the all and themselves. So they feed off of our energy to sustain their existence. And because they're on such a low vibration, they need to feed off of death, destruction, misery, pain, suffering, etc., because that's the frequency that they're
Sorry about that.
That wasn't me.
Just laughed out now. It scared me.
You look scared.
So, does that make sense to you guys?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was really deep into that, and then all of a sudden that thing came on.
I'm learning a lot from what he's saying today as well. It's kind of the same as channeling ancestors.
Yes.
To me, it seems pretty much the same as well.
It is.
Like the way mediums do it and how they speak to not spirits, dead people.
Yes.
It's very similar to that then. Because I remember there was a story that there was a long time ago. I met this really old man who used to do this kind of channeling ancestors, and he used to sit right on top of, near where we used to live there was a hill, and he used to sit there at night until the morning.
Wow.
And would say to him, "Where did you go?" He'll say, "I went to a world far away. If you want to come with me, you need to get your mind in the right state, but you're too young to understand." And that man, I've never seen him ever since, but the words that I've forgotten, AstralBooBaby AstralBooBaby was saying is pretty much very, very similar to him. I remember visiting the Stratton healthcare unit some time ago, and the people you spoke to, the more I went to see those people, it seemed to be the more normal I saw them. Rather than, so to be surrounded by people, like yourself, people who understand this kind of thing, is far more beneficial to your own spirit, to your inner light. And you were talking about blockages. The blockages that we go through block our own joy. So instead of being happy all the time, in order for you to be happy and try to understand what people understand what people are talking about, you need to take out the blockages. So all the negativity around, whenever someone says to you, your ancestors did this, because people come to me and say to me, your ancestors were slave masters, and I say, well, I don't know, I wasn't there, so I can't say what they were, rather than living in the past. Just using it as experience. Remember, I was telling you about identifying as well with it. But wow, I'm amazed at that.
Yeah, thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you very much, though. Learning a lot. It's interesting.
It's not finished yet, though.
No, there's still more to come.
I could listen to you all day, honestly, babe.
ABB.
Like Baby Boo.
I love it.
If you'd like to explain ABB,
Please.
your name basically, where it comes from, and
Yeah, sure. Well, when I made it up in my mind that I would create a YouTube channel to start publicly speaking about my revelations and experiences, I wanted a name that would truly define me. And since astral projection has been a major catalyst in my in my journey, I wanted to use that name. I used that title. And then Boo is my nickname. All of my family call me Boo Boo. They call me Boo Boo because they used to say I look like Yogi the Bear's sidekick Boo Boo when I was a little boy. So I kept Boo for that. And then I used the word baby because even with everything that I've seen and have experienced, I realize that I'm still a baby in my understanding from this fragmented perspective. And this just goes to show, even though I talk about things that are really, really outside of the box from most people's perspectives, I still consider myself a baby, still. So you can just imagine, even from my perspective, what I'm not, what I have yet tapped into. So that baby is a bit of humility as well. And I think some of the best teachers and catalysts in this regard are those of us who can be have the humility enough to acknowledge that, yeah, I've experienced and seen and been through a lot, but I don't know everything.
Yeah.
There are many people I see who are out there who are coming across as if they have it all figured out, and I would never do that because I know that you're talking about infinity. You're talking about infinite possibilities. And you're talking about infinite perspectives. And this is also why I set my channel up where I support channels where people are giving information from different perspectives. Because, again, that's a part of my perspective of keeping an open mind and not closing ourselves off from hearing the different perspectives, because everyone has a piece of the puzzle. I do understand that. And quite frankly, people who say, I don't want to hear anything this person has to say because, I have it all figured out, what have you. Quite honestly, these people are fools and they don't even realize it. So it's all about humbling ourselves. That's the word I was looking for earlier. Humbling ourselves and keeping an open mind and just taking in information from different perspectives and filtering them respectfully, and not continue to have these middlemen or these so-called experts and gurus and all this feeding us a one brand of truth or one brand of information. We don't really grow like that.
I think a lot of religion talks about this what's it called? The astro traveling as well, because growing up in the Middle East, obviously the Middle East is a Muslim country. They used to tell us stories of how the prophets went up into the heavens. And it's almost like saying it can be done. You need to just sort of, like, basically in Islam, in order for you to astro travel, let's say that's the word I was looking for, pronounce it, you need to be one with God, I guess. You need to be, like with meditation more than anything else, because I've noticed that a lot of Muslims will say, oh no, astro projection is wrong and channeling this is wrong. But some religions, they tend to praise that and say that it's okay to do this kind of thing. It's those who are too busy scrutinizing their own selves don't leave room to understand anything.
Yes, and you're absolutely right. There are sects within all of the religious systems who do see astral projection as a benefit and they embrace it. Many of my audience members are from different religious systems and they represent different religious systems. I was invited to be a guest on a radio show. A pastor invited me because he wanted to start moving his congregation more towards spirituality. And so the progress is there. It's being made, but for long before those of us start talking about these things, it was more or less seen as something evil, the work of the devil. I can't tell you how many people have told me Satan is using me and deceiving me to mislead people. And the first thing I say is, well, why would the same being you say is ruling the world, why would they be suppressing my presence on the internet so aggressively if I'm working for them? I mean, really, it doesn't make sense. I mean, those who work for what we would call Satan, they take those who work for them and elevate them and give them huge platforms. This is how it works. I mean, this is not rocket science. So you find people bringing forth information and they are being censored or they're being ignored, even though the information they share is very compelling or being made to look crazy, which was done with David Icke. I look at his story. They really bashed this man, and he was talking about things at a time where he had a very small audience, and most people thought he was absolutely crazy. But look at he stuck to his guns and didn't bow down and cave into fear, and look at the impact he has had on the world. And so this is happening in the religious community as well. Another friend of mine had just recently told me that his church is starting to talk about it, but just 3-4 years prior to, the same church was saying that it was the work of the devil. So this kind of stuff gives me great hope, and I feel so proud to know that I played a role in bringing more awareness to this subject matter, because this is a part of who we are. We really are very, very powerful beings. We're just in a collective state of amnesia. I always tell people we are gods in amnesia. We're in a collective state of amnesia, and it's very hard for us to embrace and receive this because we have accepted the disinformation, the lies from those who are suppressing and imprisoning our minds and body.
It's easier to conform though in today's society than it is to be an outcast. But it is an honor to speak to someone like yourself, because regardless of everything around, you've said, you know what, I don't really care about conforming to society, to their ideals and their norms. People do need to wake up, I think, and rather than, like you were saying, rather than scrutinizing their faiths, you just kind of give them what you understand, and then they're more happy to listen to you more than to pick up their own faiths more than anything else. But wow, it is an honour though to meet someone. I don't see you as abnormal. A lot of people see me as crazy, but happy to be crazy than to be sane in a crazy world.
The world that we have right now is what's really crazy. Not me, because I've never enslaved anyone. I've never beaten and misled anyone and robbed someone of their free will, and I've never done anything harmful to anyone. I'm a person, I treat everyone with kindness and respect everywhere I go. I like to leave a very positive impression. I like to see a smile on people's face. I don't like the kind of energies that I see that's so prevalent in the world. This is why I don't focus a lot on the conspiracy theories. Not saying that these things are not going on, but I don't focus a lot on that because I know that much of that is being generated to create fear.
Exactly, because it would not be shown by the media if it was anything else. So it's about trying to boggle your mind, basically, create confusion so you don't look for the truth. At the end of the day, they feed you, the media and the idiot box feed you all these things to say to you, this is normal, this is truth, when in actual fact it's hatred towards your own self, towards your own inner self, your own inner light, and that blockage again, wow.
Yeah, the very forces that is basically dictating what is acceptable as reality and what is not are forces who know these things. They are doing these things. They're practicing black magic rituals. These people are doing things that most people would find incomprehensible. But it's because these people are on, they have a totally different state of being, a way of thinking, etc. But the rest of us, we're in a box. And this is how and why a lot of these things will sound outrageous and crazy. I understand that. I get it. But I am glad that I was one of those people from a very early age, was treated as an outcast, as a misfit. I didn't have a lot of friends. No one wanted to be my friend. Even though people acknowledged that I had a lot of talent and very smart for my age, there weren't adults grabbing me and wanting to mentor me and develop that because I wasn't conforming. They was all about, a certain kind of image, a certain way of reinforcing what they've accepted as the truth. And people say things to me and ask me all the time, how is it that someone with as much talent as you have and so much information not have more going for yourself? And And I tell them this because I don't conform, and I have to be real with it. I'm not going to present information and do anything that is not authentic and that it does not resonate with what my truth is and what has been revealed, what the Almighty has revealed to me. I'm not going to do it. So of course, people like that are hands off. No one they would rather hide someone like that away, suppress them, make them look like make people believe they're crazy or something is wrong with them.
Yeah. The path to light is a long journey, honestly. It's easier to follow corruption, I guess, and the devil and become rich with what he says and the illusions that he creates than anything else. There's a lot of people who, like yourself, who have a tremendous amount of knowledge, but they would rather live in the truth and the light that this world is just an illusion anyway. There is no point gathering material possessions. There is no point, looking for people's approval, because at the end of the day you are alone anyway.
You said a mouthful with that, and that is key. This is how they trap many of us in the mind. Many of us think that our status, which I've never, even when I was a little boy, I've never been impressed with any of this stuff. I really had a very hard time relating to 99.9% of the stuff that has been pushed and still is being pushed on the masses. That your degrees and your status and your car and your house and all this money and jewelry and all this stuff defines you. I never resonated with that. I never resonated with a rigid religious belief system. Now, I'm not knocking anyone who uses that and has that as a catalyst, because some of us do need that kind of structure, but the goal is to continue to evolve beyond that. Again, most people stay stuck in that and end up being recycled over and over. They become stagnant, because the way that the omniverse, the universe operates is on vibration. And in order to move to the next vibration, we have to put in the work and accelerate the molecules and the energy to match those higher levels. No one is going to come in and just lift us up and pull us into a vibratory state that we're not matching in frequency. It just does not work like that. We have to do it. No one can make us do it. We have to come to that on our own accord. So yes, those religions serve a purpose for people who need some direction, but again, we should keep an open mind and continue to question, learn, and grow. One of my most favorite mantras: continue to question, learn, and grow no matter what, and so that we don't get stuck.
That's right. And dare to be impossible, as you say.
And dare to be the impossible. There you go.
That's right. So we're going to take a short music break. We like our music breaks.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So we're going to take a music break, and we'll come back. And if you could talk about some of your experiences, share with the audience, if that's okay.
Sure.
Yeah.
No problem.
So what we'll do, we'll put the Skype down and then recall you once we return. Okay. Thank you. Okay.
See you in a bit.
See you in a bit.
Okay.
Should I be dabbing at two? What's up with that dude? Flexing and collecting like yeah, I'll do whatever you want to do. Baby, give me nothing like blue. It's magical what you do.
chill at home and sip my drink out of my plastic cups. Even though my roommate had me mad as fuck, nigga be acting crackish, fucking up my money, hustling backwards. Financially, I took some hard blows, but shit, I also rock some hard shows. Niggas came to check us out by the carloads, screaming my name like I scanned 1 million barcodes already. My squad blows till we all sweaty. We struggling to pay our bills, so we really can't ball heavy. And God knows I be calling on them, cause I be writing mad checks that might as well have sparkling on them. The shoulders of my team, I be falling on them, providing support to help the pain go away, and helping me to see the light like Toa Tay standing by me. That's all I really need to satisfy me. This is my beat, yo. Real. Hey yo, it's real easy to see. Don't take much to please a cat like me. That's how we doing it. People, good loving, good music in my life. It makes me happy. Now bring it back. So happy. It's been nice. I wanted to quit, broke, crying to God. It's kinda hard going far with a lot to carry. Waking up, still tired from sessions. Going to class, dozing off, waking up, never learning the lessons. But thanks to my faith and blessings, struggles pass and I go about life without half the stressing. I know who got my back, no need for raising the question. Cause when times get hard, it's to my brothers I call, taking the weight, no matter large or small. I smile every day, thanks to y'all. We gonna eat for real, ease the mind so we can sleep for real. It took longer than we wish, but the blow, man, I knew we could find the best way to live life. It's so right, we jail tight, ain't no strip stopping our move. We one nation, all under a groove. Send a piece to that cat nigga, we gonna meet real soon. I'm so happy. Good loving, good music in my life, it makes me happy. We doing this for y'all, check it. We doing this for y'all. Come on. People, good loving, good music in my life, it makes me happy. Hey yo, we running it now, so yo, like this, showing us how we doing it. It's going out to my man's Big Poop in it. It's like this, and this is how we ripping it. And shouts out to my man named Infinite, and it's just the way we got to begin with it. It's going out to my man for 10 in it, and it's just the way we got to keep it on. For my man Big Dope and Sean, let's get it going, y'all. Good loving, good music, Justice League to the world, baby. Yo, we keep it going on. Yo, we keep it going on. People, good love like this. Good music in my life, it makes me happy. Hey, yo, it's like this on the league to the world. Feel me? Come on. Good love, good music in my life, it makes me happy. So fly with it, taking y'all on the high with it. Feel it, come on. People, good loving, good music in my life, it makes me. You wanna know what I'm feeling for real?
The Innervibe Show on S-Ence Radio. This is Yas Alexander.
Yes, hello people, we're back. And if you've just tuned in, we have special guest AstralBooBaby talking about astral projection. So far it's been a really interesting show, and I've just been learning a lot, like briefly. If people want to get into astral projection, there's not really a technique. Oh, he's ringing. Greetings.
All right.
Greetings. Hello, welcome back, ABB.
Thank you.
So, I think before the show we asked you if you could talk more about your experiences in terms of the,
Okay, where should I start? All right. Well, as far back as I can remember, I would have what I would call spontaneous out-of-body experiences, meaning they were very minor in the very beginning. I would feel myself floating just above my body. I would feel my etheric or light body touching the ceiling where I would be resting. And this is kind of how it started out. My very first profound out-of-body or astral travel, no, I wouldn't even call it out-of-body experience, was I was about 12 years old, and I remember this swirling lights, a sensation of like some kind of swirling blob of energy being next to my right hand side where I was asleep. And this energy, if you can imagine lying down with your eyes closed, and if there was like someone flashing a flashlight back and forth across your face, it's kind of like what it was like. And there was this energy that was a vortex of light energy swirling next to me, and this voice was speaking to me like a caring, loving father to a child. And you know, in my child mind, this was normal to me. It was nothing to be fearful of. I had no reason to be fearful of this. And this voice was basically telling me of my importance and my role in this world, and that this force would always be with me. And when this energy dissipated, I found myself floating up, and I went into this blacker than black void, and I don't remember anything thereafter. I'm positive that I had some kind of experience, for whatever reason, was shielded off. That was the first time I was aware of a very visceral experience outside of just floating or hovering above my physical body. The very first time that I had an experience where I was aware of everything that happened from A to Z was I was living at home. I was in my late teens, and I was really tired. This heavy sleep came over me. Now that I'm older, I realized that this is what they do when they, meaning our guardians, our ancestors, our guides, whatever you want to call them. This is what they do when we have to either receive or upload some important information. So I felt this heavy sleep come over me, and I laid down, and before I knew it, I was asleep, but woke up in my mind and saw before my mind's eye these binary codes, giant gold binary codes going up, and I remember my arms lifting up and out of my physical body and touching and stimulating my pineal gland, or what they call the third eye area, which is the area between the middle forehead. And I saw and heard a spark of blue static electricity. That's what it was like. And I saw like these binary codes just going up in gold numbers, slowly going up. And I saw images related to the slave trade and the Native Americans and Pilgrims. Actually, I had done a video on this particular experience. So those of you guys who would like to hear more about that, you can go to my AstralBooBaby YouTube video archive and find that, and I'll give that link information to you guys at the end of this broadcast. But that was the second experience that I had. It was kind of part astral, part upload, part transmitter, receiver of information. I didn't really travel anywhere, but I sent information and data from my DNA, because the body is like a computer. We're like interdimensional beings coming into a vessel, which is the physical body, and we interact with the cellular memory and the core of the system, just like we would operate with a computer. And so the true core of who I am was actually uploading information, uploading important information, might I add, outside of the what we call the quarantine. There was a time and space where there was an opening. Now I understand there was an opening that I needed to upload this information, because there are beings outside of this quarantine who are related to us, who have a vested interest in us, but have not been aware of all of the things that has been happening on the planet at that time, because this planet has been quarantined off. And the veil, when I was talking earlier about the veil thinning, that too can be in the same range of the quarantine that's coming down. So there were beings who were not aware of how how Earth had been hijacked and how certain beings had been treated, the animals, etc. So there are those of us who who came here and allowed ourselves to get trapped, to help with the shift that is going on, and to bring greater awareness of the things that have been happening on a subatomic, cellular, spiritual, physical level to other beings all throughout the galaxy, quite honestly. So that was my second most profound experience related to astral travel or out-of-body experiences. And there have been many more. I guess I would prefer that you guys ask me something more specifically to the nature of the astral projection experience itself, rather than to give a case-by-case experience, because that can get really, really layered and convoluted.
Can you ever...
Because I am so long-winded, I don't want to go too far off the core of the subject matter.
I have a question, ABB. Have you ever gotten lost, can I say? And when you do astro project?
That is true. I have gotten lost, and let me tell you, ironically, it happened just 3 years ago. It was when all of the power in the neighborhood went out, and it was really cold. It was during the winter. We had a really, really, really bad winter storm, and so I just piled myself underneath a lot of heavy covers and just slept the night away. And I had an instantaneous experience, and this was very different in that I could not sense my body. And usually when I'm really out and about, I can still sense the physical body. I'm still aware that it's there. I had absolutely no sense of the physical body, and I was just going through one doorway after another, and I was like, what is going on? Am I dead? And I was walking up to other people who were on the astral realm, asking them, like, what is going on? Why can't I sense my body? Did I die in my sleep? And they were like, calm down, it's okay. No one would really straight out answer me as to, am I lost? Am I dead? And I remember I wasn't afraid, but I was very confused, and I started thinking about my mother, my sister, because I really thought that I must have died in my sleep, and I was worried that they would find me dead and how that would affect them and all this stuff. And so, ironically, an ancestor helped me to find my way back. And so, again, now it's 3 years later, I understand that those things happen from time to time. It is a part of my learning. It's a part of my growing. So truthfully, I didn't really get lost. It was just it was something that was allowed to happen, so that the next time something like that happened, I would have the awareness and the coordinates to deal with it differently.
I heard you said that you was interacting with other people in that space. And did they have physical bodies as well? Or?
Yes, they look just like people you see on Earth. Even beings that we call extraterrestrial, many of them are human. They look like us. They're just on another vibration, another level of understanding. Like many of our ancestors, from Egypt, and many of the Mayans and all these beings that they said seem to have disappeared, and they can't trace what happened to them. These beings just simply evolved, and they're vibrating on a different frequency within the same sphere of consciousness, but they're on a different frequency. So many times we interact with them. They can come here. They meet us in our dream state. They meet us on the astral, and they'll guide us. They'll give us information and knowledge that they've learned, that they are passing down the line or passing down the pipe, and so on and so forth. But then there are those who are on Earth right now who are having a physical life experience, that are on the astral realm. We interact with one another all the time. The same thing happens on a dream state where we're having a shared reality or shared experience. There are people who are living on Earth right now that we meet and have a life on the dream state or in the dream state as well. And a perfect evidence of this is that many people, and this has happened to me as well, have met people and seen people in the dream state or on an astral realm that they had not met in physical reality, but would actually meet them like 2 or 3 days later in physical life. This happens all of the time.
Okay.
But there are also those beings who have an expression that may look alien or foreign to us. And yes, I have seen quite a few of those as well. But most of my interactions have been with beings who look human. They're just more evolved, vibrating on a different frequency. They tend to be more flawless in their appearance. They tend to be bigger, larger than life, so to speak. So, because again, because they're vibrating on a different realm, so they're not bound by the same kind of energies that we are.
Okay.
How do you know? So astral travel happens when you're asleep, right? So it can't happen when you're just walking down the street and you just collapse. That's not astral travel. That's, you need to check a doctor out.
Well, you know what? They can astral project at will during the day, but they don't. It's something when it happens in that way. It's not like they just walk and they just drop. They're out. It's more of a concerted effort. They mastered the ability to a point where they could just sit down and close their eyes and go into an alternate state at will, but they're still aware that they're still aware of their physical body. They're still alert in physical reality as well. They've just mastered the physical and non-physical, so they're able to do both, move in between both at will.
How can you tell that an individual can astral travel?
How can we tell? How can
you tell?
Well, okay, we all do it by default to some degree anyway. Those who do it and are consciously aware of it, 99.9% of the time, these are going to be the people who are seen as outcasts or treated as outcasts. They are very sensitive, very quiet, but yet very they have a natural connection to animal and a love and care for children. They tend to be very, it really boils down to people who have a certain kind of characteristic and a certain kind of sensibility and the way they carry themselves, the way they express themselves. These are people who are natural at tapping into and connecting with the multi-dimensional aspect of themselves. And many of them are not going to tell you, this is something that I do, again, because they don't want to be treated any worse than they already are. They don't want to be alienated or have people or alienate people that they may love and care about. So in terms of any other kind of characteristics or way in which we can tell by looking or observing someone, unless they talk about it, there really isn't anything else that we can make that kind of discernment based off of just looking at someone. Oh, let me tell you, I'm sorry. There is another characteristic, and again, the only way one would know this is if they have a pineal activation to some degree. People like that have an extra glow and light about them. You can see they just radiate this energy that is just, you can't put your finger on it, and they tend to be they defy their age. Like they could be like really mature in terms of the biological system of how we define age, or the chronological system in which we define age, but they may defy it. That's another way in which we can kind of tell people who are tapping into these multidimensional realities, because they're just vibrating on a different level than the majority, and they're taking better care of themselves, and it shows in the physical form.
Yeah. So some of these beings that you see are some of reptilian nature.
Yeah. It's not fantasy or make believe. There are beings that literally look like reptiles. Some of them literally look like. And you can see these even in Egypt on some of the statues, where they have the head of a crocodile, but the body of like a well-built man. This is more than just, people say it's symbolic. No, the Egyptians obviously interacted with these beings. Now, which came first? Did these beings exist first before the physical form with the bipedal physical being. Some people believe that they existed. They're the first bipedal-like being. Then there are those who believe that humans are the first bipedal-like beings, and somewhere the two came in the middle. I can't really give an answer to that, but I can honestly say that based on what I've experienced and seen, there are absolutely, without a shadow of a doubt, beings that look reptile, pure reptile, and then there's some that look like they're in between.
Okay.
That's like how.
Another question I have is like, some people talk about reptilian beings, and you get some people who've talked about insectilian beings. Have you come across them?
Yeah, they do. Those exist as well. Okay. The best way I can explain this point is that think of every living organism, every living being on this planet, no matter, even plants, everything evolves into something greater than or has evolved into something greater than what we have here. This earth is a microcosm of everything that exists. And so we are, the humans on planet Earth in our current state, we are like we're like a primitive perspective of the humans who have evolved well beyond this. They're greater in size, they're greater in awareness, they have multi-dimensional awareness and capabilities that we're still evolving to. The same is true with the insect kingdom, the elemental kingdom, the plant kingdom, etc., etc. So every single life form has a greater, more evolved version of itself existing, vibrating somewhere. Okay. So yeah, the insectozoids or insectixilians or whatever, they do exist. They do exist, but because they are vibrating beyond this dimensional realm, most of us, unless we develop or reconnected with our multi-dimensional capabilities, we will not interact or see them. And many of these beings, interestingly enough, are here and having a human experience, not for the same reason as everyone else. Many of them have come here to try to wake up those of us who have gotten stuck in this prison, to try to teach and wake us up, to bring keys. The story of Christ is really about a being who came to earth to bring forth the keys that the fallen had forgotten, so that they can unlock the Christ within, so that they can get themselves out of this reality. Christ represents a collective body. The Christ did not come here to be followed and worshiped. That is egotism. No higher advanced being operates in egotism. I must say this. So you have different beings from different realities who have come here and have incarnated in human form to be vessels and beacons of light to help awaken as many beings as possible and to affect or influence the collective consciousness of this planet, to help break up some of that mind control that's happening on this planet. These beings are just like humans. You have those that are operating under a negative, narrow-minded perspective. They don't know any better. Then you have those who have evolved and grown beyond that part of reality and is more operating, or they're more or less operating under the energy of integration and harmony. So the same is true with these beings. You have some that are hostile and aggressive. You have those that are peaceful, loving, and understand that everything is connected, and when there's an aspect of the whole that is disconnected, lost, or destroying themselves, that affects the whole or the collective.
Okay. Have you come across any of the aggressive, hostile beings? Okay.
Yeah, I have. Okay. I don't usually talk about my experiences with that, because again, it would make a lot of people fearful, because I kind of touched on something before in one of my videos, and all I got was, see, this is why I don't want to astral project. So I don't want to keep that, because people will remember the fear fear-based stuff more so than the positive. I've done well over 100 videos where I'm mostly talking about the positive things, but I can do that one video that focuses on the not so positive, and that's what everyone will focus on. That's what the majority, not everyone, but that's what the majority who have not risen above where they are, that's what they will focus on. That's what they want to keep asking questions about. So I stopped doing that. So again, my focus is to get them to raise their vibration and focus on the kind of reality that they want to experience and see, and not focus on this fear-mongering stuff, because there's more than enough. There's an overabundance of that already out there.
That's right.
It does proves and shows that it shows the consciousness of the society that we live in today is very negative.
Limited.
It's quite limited, bless them.
Isn't it?
Yeah, but
no balance.
Yeah. A question I want to ask is, like, how does it actually feel when you're astral projecting? Then, like, how does your mental and your physical body feel?
Okay. Well, in the beginning, now when I'm out, it's just natural. I usually bypass the typical vibration. There's an intense vibration that usually starts, and many of us have had this, what they call sleep paralysis. And scientists have said that it's there to stop people from acting out on their dreams. And I'm not going to say there's no truth to that, but the other side is that this is the precursor to an out-of-body experience. But most people go into a state of fear because they've been told this is a devil sitting on your chest, a bitch in the room with you, and they go into a state of fear and they don't go any further. So their conscious mind is becoming aware of the point of which many of us literally feel the intense vibration, and we literally feel, it's just like if you can imagine yourself as a physical, fully conscious being, literally pulling yourself out of a version or sand heavy version of yourself out, or a mode of yourself. Let me rethink this. Let me explain it in this way. Imagine yourself carved to perfection out of a 1,000 block boulder. And let's just say that's what you've known yourself as all your life. This heavy, dense boulder. And all of a sudden you wake up and you are literally able to pull yourself out of the boulder, and it literally feels just like you felt in the mold of the boulder, but you feel this intense pressure and vibration and energy just circulating through this mold that you didn't even know exists, and you're literally climbing yourself out, and it literally feels just like your physical self climbing out of this heavy rock mold that you always thought was actually you. That's the best way I can describe it. And you instantly see, it's two things that happens when you get out and see for the first time. You will see nothing. It will be pitch black. Even though you feel your physical body, you feel your astral body or etheric body, it feels just as solid and just as real as your dense physical body, but you feel every cell or atom in that body vibrating, and your whole body feels like a generator. And you feel and hear the buzzing. You literally feel the electricity rushing and vibrating through your body, but it feels just like your physical body. If you were to touch your hands or what have you, they will feel just as solid or just as real. But if you focus and look at your hand, you will see it for a while, but they'll appear to disappear and reappear. And there's this light. You will see yourself as the light being that you are. Your mental state all depends on what you are open to. For instance, if you are under fear-based programming, you may become so terrified of the experience that you would literally snatch yourself back. The physical body will snatch yourself back, and you won't go any further than just, noticing that you are out of your body and noticing a reality beyond the physical world. And even in pitch blackness, you still know that there is a reality beyond what your physical life is telling you.
That's right.
But the other side, when people have sight and they have this experience for the first time, so they may see the room or wherever they are the way it is, but it'll be in black and white, and it'll be very fuzzy and grayish looking. Now, again, this is what is typical when one has an astral projection or out-of-body experience for the very first time. It's very murky, very gray, but you are very aware of the sensations, the energy, your state of mind, your belief system, whatever is going on with you in that state, it's going to be amped up. But depending on how open you are, it will allow us to see or experience more or less. Does that make sense? Yeah. It's really difficult to explain these things from a 3D perspective because it's so layered and it's so complex and there's so many components to it. But just on a basic level, most people describe it as a very visceral, just like I have, a very visceral first-person experience, but you are clearly aware that you are getting up and out of your body, and it feels just like your physical body does, but on a more heightened state.
Okay, because I've had a few experiences myself, and to astral project, I mean, you explained earlier about that vibration. I felt that vibration and that ringing tone, and
that's another thing. Sounds, yes.
Yeah, leaving the body, and at that point, that's when my fear kicked in personally. But I've also had other experiences whilst I've been in my room. I'm not going to go too deep into them. And friends of mine have also had experiences. But one in particular was he had what he said was a rat, and it was a big rat the size of him, holding him down on the bed, and he could physically see it.
Okay.
Right. Well, right. He has the fear of rats, I'm sure.
ABB, a question on a serious note about a rat.
That was serious though.
Yeah.
It was serious.
A fear of rats?
Yes. No. But because there's something else I'm going to get to as well. Because he also had an experience with a snake.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure. I don't know if you could explain. I don't know, because I was baffled when he was telling me this. But I've had a couple of experiences myself.
Well, this is touching on what I had previously said, that depending on the first time we start becoming consciously aware of this, and based on our beliefs, fears, or whatever, the astral when you're outside of physical reality, we instantaneously manifest that what we fear or expect the most, or what we fear more importantly. And so, because there is a widespread fear of rats, there is a widespread common fear of snakes. So many times when people come out, they're not aware of what is going on because it's so strange. No one has ever told them that this is something we do and we can do. And so when we sync up for whatever reason, become consciously aware of this happening, the first thing that comes to the surface of the mind and we manifest in that reality when we are coming out, it's going to be what we fear. And so this is how powerful our minds are. We will create what we fear the most. This is also why people who have astral projection experiences for the very first time, they say that they see a demon. There's a demon in the room. Now, with that one, I'm not going to say that every time they're incorrect, because there are forces that are, they come around and they feed off of fear. But most of the time when we're just coming out, this is really our own mind playing tricks on us. And that energy that he's saying he feels on top of him, it's very easy to decode that, which is actually your astral body detached, with your conscious mind hasn't synced up with that astral body. So it's very easy for someone to perceive their astral body with their consciousness hadn't linked up to as an outside force that reinforces their fear. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Or their greatest fears. So if has an extreme fear of snakes or has a deep-seated fear of rats, This would explain his perception of believing and feeling that there was a giant rat on top of him. It was probably actually more than likely his astral body without his consciousness sinking to it on top of him. Sometimes the astral body comes out and it's just kind of floating about. It's almost like a dead person floating in space. If there's no consciousness in it, you know, you kind of see it as separate from yourself. But if you're able to project your consciousness into that being and see yourself and see what is going on from the perspective of that vehicle, then, you know, it's not as easy to project and perceive that aspect of yourself as something that we greatly fear.
Okay, so it's about shifting your mental states from fear-based to more love, basically.
There you go.
But as easy as it sounds, it's not as easy to do when you're in that situation.
Yeah.
Yes, it's not, and this is where a lot of the work comes in, and facing our fears to transmute it, to go into the root of our fear. I've done videos where I've talked about that as well. You know, we must face our fears. We must challenge ourselves to neutralize or transmute those fears before we try to go into this realm of understanding. Because again, you know, this our minds can turn on us, or our energy can turn on us, and we end up using it against ourselves rather than allowing it to be used for us. The same thing is true for the physical body. We have this energy flowing through us, but if we are not taking care of the body and doing what we're supposed to do, our energy would turn on the physical body and we would destroy ourselves. So the same thing happens on a metaphysical level as well.
Okay.
I've got Rosalind Blue giggling here. She's been giggling for some time now, and I know what she's going to say to you. Go on.
Okay, basically, Brother Haru had an experience.
Why do you have to? Why?
You said you was going to ask it anyway. No, Brother Haru had an experience when he was trying to astral project, and he saw kebab skewers.
He saw kebab skewers.
Kebabs then.
So you know how they make kebabs, right? I don't know. And the big skewers that they like rotate around, and he saw giant ones. So I'm trying to figure out, is he scared of kebabs or something?
What was the correlation there? Well, you know what? He very well could have. Okay, there are two possibilities with something like that. If there's no fear of kebabs for whatever reason, you know, he very well could have actually tapped into a reality where that is playing out, and he's just seeing that from a microcosmic perspective, or his subconscious mind, for whatever reason, could have just painted that as a focal point for whatever reason, and it may be more symbolic as well. It could be something the ancestors are showing him for whatever reason. I would have to know what kebabs mean for him to really understand how and why that manifested in his mental projection during an astral projection experience.
I know he used to eat
we're going to project or attract visuals and experiences that we relate to in some form or another, be it out of love, fear, or what have you. It's how it is. It's just we're just very sensitive in that state.
I have a question. Can children astral project or not?
Children are the most natural projectors. It is not until society tells them that, you know, this is, you must go to school, you must learn this way, you must believe this. When children start eating a lot of candy, it's no coincidence that children are targeted for lots and lots of sugar. This is what happened to me, and I'm still surprised that I was able to tap into what I was able to tap into as a kid, because I am one of those people who loved candy. I love sweets. That's still my weakness. I still have to fight, you know, my addiction to sugar. We all have an addiction. It's the nature of this world to get us addicted to something so that we don't, again, tap into those multidimensional layers. But when children are given sugar and they're reinforced, they have these reinforced programs, and they go through what I call the assembly line, the social assembly line, aka educational system. When they go through all that, and they start speaking languages and all this kind of stuff, they start disassociating and losing that connection. All of my friends talk about having an awareness, a natural ability towards doing these things when they were really young children, but forgot how to do it. They forgot that they just forgot. And there are things such as, I totally agree with David Icke, the vaccines, the processed foods, the chemicals that we put in our head, the chemical products that we put on our bodies. I mean, there's so many things, the programs, the belief system, the fear, the wanting to be accepted, it goes on and on. All these things are just one more layer added that blocks us off as we become more dense in physical reality and disconnects us. So yes, children do it, animals do it all of the time.
You are what you believe, basically.
Babies do. Sorry, I must say babies do it. You guys can look at babies and tell if a baby is lucid dreaming, and you can tell when someone is lucid dreaming because the eyes are like rimming. They call it rims when we're in REM sleep. Back and forth. If babies are just here for the very first time and they're just, unconscious beings just waiting to be programmed, what are they dreaming? Where are they? When they're awake and they're looking around, we've all seen babies. They're clearly fixated and they see something that we can't. So they are natural. They are naturally connected to these things, but again, as they become bigger and denser and fed more of the programs and the food and all this stuff of the world, they become dense and become further and further disconnected.
Do you necessarily have to be like going to sleep in order to astral project?
No. Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, because I'm not really sure. Like, I've had experiences or stuff. I'm not sure. I don't even know if it relates to astral projection, to be fair. But basically, what it is, like, sometimes I don't know. Like, it can only be for a matter of seconds, but I like literally blank out. But I'm living like another reality. It's almost like I'm living sort of like something that happened in the past or something, and then I literally come back and it's only been like a few minutes.
Well, that sounds more like what we call not time travel. I was just talking to someone about time travel. That is either a past life memory coming to surface. This is something too that's a part of this awakening that we've been talking about. Many people are starting to have past life parallel memories. It's also quantum leaping in the mind. This happens as well. This is very common. And the other is, my friend and I, we were just talking about it. There's a term that they call where you are, my best friend actually had this as well. She was at work and she literally went into another reality while she was at work, and she got the two realities confused. And it's a form of quantum leaping, but it's not happening on a astral level. It's happening more on a mind consciousness level. Does that make sense? Yeah. So this is a sign that your DNA is mutating. The DNA, what you call the helix. The 12-strand helix, which is like an antenna in the body, that is activating in you, and this is how it starts. We have experiences like that during the wake state, during the sleep state, and they happen spontaneously with no rhyme or reason, for no apparent. There's no apparent catalyst for it whatsoever. It's just random. So congratulations on that. That means you are right in alignment with what is going on here. Now, if you were to tell the average person who has not had that experience, they will tell you, oh, you just crazy, or maybe you drank too much, maybe you smoked too much. Someone will try to tell you what you experienced wasn't real, but that was a very real and visceral reality, a very real experience to you. And until they experience it, they won't understand it.
I have a question as well. Maybe you can explain it to me. When I was younger, I used to be very afraid of the reality that I lived in. So I remember don't really remember anything, really. I remember waking up in a bush, basically. Let me explain to you. I was raised in Sudan up until I was like 4 years old, and I used to sleepwalk, regardless of my parents locking up the house and the doors and everything like that. I still managed to get out. And the next day, I remember exactly what happened. Like the same thing happened again, but this time I was in sleep mode, but it was as if I was walking somewhere that I could pretty much feel like it was real. And then this figure came sort of in front of me, and he was taking me somewhere, but then all of a sudden I just snapped out of it, and I preferred to stay in that because I felt that was more reality than this is.
Yeah.
What's that then? Is that...
Well, okay, when you're in your sleep state and those things happen, that's more along the lines of soul travel, astral travel, it sounds like to me. When you, and this is also going back to the sister who was talking about her shifting from one reality to another. This is another layer of our multi-dimensional abilities, where we literally fill up a bubble and project our consciousness into a parallel reality or into a state of reality that we want access to. So it sounds like you had tapped into the astral projection aspect of yourself, as well as project a bubble of your consciousness into a reality from where you are. And you know, the other sister, same thing. You know, you both have had the same kind of experiences, but at different times in your life. So it's no coincidence that you guys synced up and met one another. It's no coincidence that we're having this conversation with all of us, because the common thread, again, we always sync up and find those of us who can relate. And this starts well before now. This starts when we are children or what have you. So this is synchronicity at its best, let me tell you. You guys, I'm telling you, I'm literally getting chills because I'm having a revelation in this moment. You guys were meant to come together in this way and have this show in this format to bring everything that you have to offer and be a catalyst to bring this kind of information to more people. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
And let's hope to reach more and more people and help them on their journey.
Absolutely.
In this journey we call life. We're still babies and we're still students on this journey.
Yes.
We're here to
From
learn
the
each day.
physical perspective, yes. From the physical perspective, we are still babies. But when we are in our pure natural fluid state, we're more like adults.
True say.
Yeah. Wow.
It's been a real great show.
Yes, it does, isn't it? And we've got all the time, which is good. It's always good.
I'm sorry, guys. I hope I didn't.
No, it's good.
Redundant or long-winded, but you know, it's I'm just so passionate about it, and I try to cover as many bases within the context of the conversation as possible. And so my earlier videos, I used to try to cram 3 and 4 or 5 different subject matters in one video, and I think that would confuse people. So now my videos, I kind of focus on one point at a time, and I think people like it more that way. And so I'm going to try to operate in that way, because I think in a multi-dimensional way. You know what I'm saying? It's like I don't think linearly, and that's the challenge for me when I do interviews and talk about these things, to speak from a multi-dimensional perspective, but keep it as basic and clear and translate it in a linear way and in a linear, universal way. And it's not always easy to do.
Most definitely.
It's an honour, though. Honestly, it's an honour to hear you speak. I'll watch all your videos, and I'm not just saying that. I normally hate watching YouTube stupid videos, but it would be worth it to hear about your journeys.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, ABB.
Oh, thank you. It's my pleasure, and it's an honor spending time with you guys as well. And I just want to say really quick before I leave, for those who are just coming into this information, or if you're more interested in what I've talked about, my journeys, my experiences, you can go to YouTube and type in AstralBooBaby. That's AstralBooBaby, one word. Type in AstralBooBaby in the search engine and click on the blue link that reads AstralBooBaby, and that, because you're going to get a list of videos to look at, but you want to go straight to the link that reads AstralBooBaby in all blue, and that'll take you straight to my channel. And there's a bar there where you can search my archive videos, and what I prefer is that people who are just finding me to go and look at the most oldest videos and work your way up, because I'm getting a lot of people asking questions, sending me emails asking questions that I've on subject matters and points that I've talked about 3 years ago, and I would rather just kind of direct them to the older videos and let them work their way up, and then if they still have questions, they can write me through my website, which is astralboobaby.net.
Thank you for sharing.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
And just before you go, ABB, I mean, what sort of things can people do to, I mean, apart from the obvious things, I mean, because we do things like yoga and qigong to energize the body and to bring more life force into the body. What sort of things can people do in order to be more sensitive, if you like, to these sort of things?
Okay, we must keep an open mind. That is very important. Be open to different ideas, theories, perspectives. Number 2, get out into nature. We are very big on this. Go out into nature. There's a very powerful brother who goes by the name of the 13th Son. Oh
my God, I was just messaging him actually.
Yeah, he's very powerful, and I love the advice that he gives in terms of going out into nature and planting your bare foot or bare feet in the ground and covering your foot up and pouring water. I love that. I always say go out and hug a tree, talk to trees, talk to water. You know, of course, get more into an organic, natural diet of green fruits and vegetables, especially. The other thing that I highly, highly recommend is daily affirmations. If you want to open yourself up to your multidimensional nature, get in the mirror, look yourself into the eye, and come up with an affirmation that fits you, and tell yourself, communicate that to your core self, that you are ready to receive the tools and information and people who will help you, the ancestors, your guides, your guardians, whatever resonate with you. Ask for that help to help you get to where you would like to be. So if we do all those things, keep an open mind, connect to nature, get our diets right, meditate, of course. We already talked about yoga. All those things help. Everything will just fall into place.
Brilliant. Thank you very much, and we'd like to have you back on again real soon to go deeper into the reptilian thing, especially.
And the insect thing as well.
Yeah, the insectilians.
Thank you. It was actually the 13th Son where I actually first heard about the insectilians.
Yeah, and actually, I think, he's only the 4th person because I've always known about them, but I just didn't publicly talk about them because I've seen them. But he's only the 4th person that I know of who's actually talked about them. This particular group, again, there are many different expressions, but the particular group that he's talking about, he's only the 4th person who's talked about it. So the information is getting out there, and I'm glad, so that, like I said, when the you know what hits the fan, there won't be as much fear being generated. People will be prepared mentally, psychologically, and physically for what is to come when it happens. So again, thank you guys so much. It has been an honor for me as well, and I look forward to chatting with you guys again in the near future. And everyone out there who's listening to this broadcast, I would like to say that you are loved beyond measure. Continue to question, learn, and grow. And I would like to say that the ultimate illumination will always come from within. Hold on tight. Go inside and go for what you know.
Exactly. Yeah. Thank you.
And again, dare to beat the impossible.
Dare to be an impossible. I have so many. Hey, and there will be more to come. But thank you guys so much. Have a blessed one.
Wholeness and balance.
Wholeness and balance.
Hotep.
Hotep.
Namaste. All of that.
Salam alaikum. Shalom. Satnam. In Lakesh. Any more guys?
Arrivederci.
Ciao.
10 minutes, say bye.
Okay, ABB. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right. You're welcome.
Okay.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
That was amazing. Such an amazing person.
You have, and now you know now.
No, I know it's not like.
Do you know what Astral Production is?
Yeah, that's it.
That was brilliant. I think you should play the theme song again.
Yeah, we're going to take a break and come back and close the show. It's 9:20, man. Time flutes. It's flute.
I know, it went too fast.
Yeah. Okay.
Should I be giving it to? What's up with that dude? Flexing and collecting like yeah, I'll do whatever you want to do. Baby, give me nothing like blue. It's magical what you do.
Right or wrong, this is my song, and I'ma keep on singing it till the world sings along. Even though I roll the dice so many times a night, I was told life, living my right or wrong, this is my song, and I'ma keep on singing it till the world sings along. Even though the road is long and narrow, it's a battle, but I was told life is a game. Hey yo, money makes the world go round, so put your bets down. Cause if it's my life, I always put my best out. It's all or nothing. Y'all be bluffing cause you stressed out, betting what you ain't got, sweating but it ain't hot. And out here, we bear it all like a tank top ass. Cause we ain't scared at all, we been shank shot, locked up and ain't stopped risking what we live for. What's losing loot when you been poor? And who cares if you spend more? So what if you pitch raw? You just making the ratio smaller for us to get more. Life's a gamble with the odds on us. I'm just praying God evens it up, for he declares war. And so losers swore blue was the victor. But I'm just like y'all, except I live my life wrong. I smile when they tell me to frown, and looking up when they tell me I'm down, because I'm living my right or wrong, this is my song, and I'ma keep on singing it till the world sings along. Even though I roll the dice so many times a night, I was told life, living my right or wrong, this is my song, and I'ma keep on singing it till the world sings along. Even though the road is long and narrow, it's a battle, but I was told life is a gamble.
Life got me counting my blessings every second I get. Ain't got much, but it's more than what some people die to get. Little money I try to flip, and it goes so quick, and I'm sitting pissed cause I make small change for bigger sense. I take a whole lot of risk, and the older I get, the load still heavy. When trouble try me, I forever stay ready. I keep it steady in the belly of the streets, don't sleep day and night. Life is a gamble and there ain't no lucky streaks involved. It's all small to a big dog with big balls. I pick up the pieces wherever the chips fall. Call me a scabber, just dipping the bone clean. Where I'm from, just to eat, you gotta risk everything. Worth something, pockets hurting, got me searching for a remedy. Enemies after my currency won't be the end of me, no. I know a lot of people that need a little help, but still in the game, playing with the cards dealt.
Right or wrong, this is my song, and I'ma keep on singing it till the world sings along. Even though I roll the dice so many times a night, I was told life, living my right or wrong, this is my song, and I'ma keep on singing it till the world sings along. Even though the road is long and narrow, it's a battle, but I was told life is a gamble. When I was born, I rolled 7 from the opening scene. Son of John and Irene, it's a beautiful thing. John and Shay's little brother, every day I discovered the potential of becoming who I'm hoping to be. If I hope and believe, at least that's what I was told. Watch days go by, new year, another roll. From then, man, I don't know, things wasn't the same. Got caught up in the game, it seems my luck changed. See snake eyes watching, side betting, trying to say I won't make it, but I don't sweat them. Keep it all in perspective, a life lesson. Spending days on the pass line, trying to stretch them. See some homies crap out early, God bless them. I'll roll 12, I'll see you, no question. Till then, I'm finna rip these joints with a pen, trying to hit my point and be your boy track. Alright. I'm trying to make it.
Here I'm trying to make moves. I pop one pill, then it's time to take two. I smoke one blunt, then it's time to drink brews. When I'm fighting with myself and my mind is Babe Ruth. Life is a gamble, homie, so play right. One false throw, you rolling a snake guy. In the depths of the grass is where the snakes lie. I'm real to the core, so when a fake lie, I can read that lie. Kick back with a weed sack, I need that to relax my mind. Let it lean back, recline, let me read back my lines. Let me retract, rewind, let me relax your mind like some fine wine. It's the choices that you make that define time. The bright side can never be seen with a blind eye. If I'm walking by myself, I invite God, but I didn't have to. My right arm, my soul's off, lost in the deep end with a heart so cold that it's hard as to see me. So tell Mom Dukes I'll be gone to the evening on the path to my purpose and the road to some meaning. I speak from the soul, if I spoke then I mean it. See God in myself, some folks never meet him. I'm far from the end, but I'm close to my freedom. I'm wishing, hoping, dreaming. Life is a gamble. Big things I live by. Always aim, you know, like I could do that.
You see, sir, when I look at the ace, it reminds me that there is but one God. And the deuce reminds me that the Bible is divided into two parts, the Old and the New Testament.
The Innervibe Show on S-Ence Radio. This is Yaz Alexander. Let's go.
Yes, how's that, family?
Hello. Yes, welcome back to the show. So if you've just tuned in, you're late, I would say.
Yes. Yes, Naga Bliss, you're late. Just tuning in now. She texts me saying, "Oh no, I missed the show." Yeah, you missed it. It's like 9:25. It's been recorded anyway. So
yeah. But for those who've just tuned in, just to give you a brief sort of thingy. Yeah.
Intro.
Yeah.
Intro.
Yeah.
Finishing.
Okay.
No, it's an intro because she needs to introduce what was happening before.
Okay.
Okay, I get it.
Okay.
Thingy.
No, don't use language.
Thingy.
Yeah. No, we had AstralBooBaby on the show talking about astral projection, and what a very interesting show it was. Definitely had it gave us more of an insight and a more further understanding of what astral projection is, and also we had some weird questions answered too.
About skewers and kebabs and reptiles and insects and
just
rats. Okay.
Yeah, but it is true. Like a lot of people who are like still in that sort of programming of like fear-based programming and the collective consciousness of like always want to focus on the negative. They probably want to have people like us and AstralBooBaby sectioned off.
Hand yourselves in, both of you, tomorrow morning.
Yeah, but does everybody else want these sectioning?
But no.
I know, break them at the hospital, honestly.
But no, definitely, it's definitely a very educational show. So hopefully, if you have missed it and you just tuned in and you're late, we do record the shows, so you can catch them on YouTube. So, and I'll share the links at the end of the show. But Sparks, Brother Haru, anything else to say?
Share the links.
Yeah, share the links.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, you can check the for this show and other shows, you can go on our channel, youtube.com/Innervibe Show, INNERVIBE and also we have another channel which is SKIDAN 4 Real, SKI down for real. And don't forget to visit our website
for older shows, isn't it?
Yeah, for the older shows, because we're still due to our technical man. We're still in the process.
It's his fault.
Yeah.
It's his fault. Yeah. Blame the technical man.
Before we were praising the technical man.
It needs to be balanced.
Yeah. That's the reality.
It needs to be balanced.
Yeah, balanced. But we are in the process of moving our old shows from our old channel to our new channel. And don't forget to visit our website, www.scem.com.
Oh yeah, scem.com.
SCE.
I forgot about that.
Okay. Yeah, visit our website. Still needs doing up, so bear with us. But
yeah, ask if anybody would like to help.
Yeah, if anyone would like to help and further the campaign where we deal with sexualization in the mainstream music and media.
One of the reasons why people are not waking up. One of the obstacles to truth.
Yeah, exactly. Not only do we highlight the effects, we also want to bring forth the root causes of why it's all happening and what the agendas are behind it. So yeah, definitely.
And becoming solutions as well, which is the most important.
Exactly.
Not just showing you what's going wrong in the world, but also how we can fix it on a collective basis and individually.
Whether it be physically, emotionally, and spiritually.
Fixing their minds more than anything.
Definitely. The world needs healing. So yeah, please donate. There's a donate button on
donate all your week's wages.
Oh, that's a lot, wait. I got bills to pay. No, but it's worth it though to donate to a good cause rather than all of them rip-off charities that don't really do anything.
Yeah,
charity starts at home, I guess.
Definitely.
So more than anything.
And it will help us to do the documentary that we've got planned and what we're working on at the moment, and all the other bits and bobs that we're doing to bring forth what is needed in the world to make people aware, as Rosalind said, of why it is people are not waking up. As you said many times, it's because of glamour, and glamour simply means to be under a spell. And under a spell, people really are. Do you know what I mean? So we need to, and you can look it up in the dictionary. It actually states what glamour means in there is to be under a spell. So I'll check it out. It's not just coming from me. So
yeah, I mean, like you know that because that's what in the films about vampires. That's what vampires do. They glamour their victims.
Right.
And if you think about it, really, we live in a world which are parasites.
Yep.
You know, we're being glamoured so that they can feed others. So yeah, vampire state definitely.
The vampires of consciousness, eh?
Yeah, exactly. But no. Anyways, I'm saying Hotep, wholeness, namaste.
Why are you saying that?
Because I've said all I need to say.
Where are we going?
Well, I'm going,
We are.
Where are you going? You can't do it yet.
Got to wait.
The king is not smoking yet.
That's what I mean. I'm saying wholeness so that the king can speak.
I'm joking. Spots?
I wanted to say Hotep wholeness, namaste, arrivederci, baby, ciao, what else?
Okay.
A lot of other things.
Yeah.
But I'd like to leave you with something that I learned this week.
Okay.
Love is a journey without distance. It starts from within.
That's right.
So, that's lovely.
And I'll leave you with this quote by Plato. The first and greatest victory is to conquer yourself. To be conquered by yourself is all things most shameful and vile.
Perfect. Hotep people.
Are we going, yeah?
Bye. Yeah, we're going.
You can say if you want. You can say.
Going.
We're gonna go get chips.
Okay, hold this and have that vision. Love and victory.
Share that, had many ladies, but nothing can compare to that smile, that style, that drive, man, wow, that ring could have Big Daddy walk you down the aisle proper. You a showstopper, girl a jaw dropper. I can see me leaving Susan, bringing home to mama. What you looking at is purebred stallion. I'm slaying it. You really care to know who's jaying it? Oh, how lucky are we? Catch you coming out the shower and I'm right there to wipe down your body. Spread that scented lotion all around your curves. Anything you want, all she deserves. Baby, calm your nerves, make this work. The only thing you fear in life is being hurt, but I'm here to protect you. Thought otherwise, I'm here to correct you. You can trust me.
You and I both fight.
Motivated.
Flame away, I feel inside.
So deep. I got your back.
We in this life.
We in this life.
You and I both fight.
We the truth.
Tell me life on your side.
I'm by your side, baby.
Anything for you, anything for me.
It's a love thing, baby. You and I, that's a hot couple. Put us both in the same club. Now you asking nothing but trouble. Watch you jumping out of red labels. Got my woman and her girlfriends dancing on the table. Shut down the joint. Me, I'm just laid back and all. Surrounded by the gangsters, puffing on a cigar. Baddest chick in the world, keep drink. Yes, the hottest chick on the planet, keep it ranked up. The question is, can you top that, homie? You Could probably pull something close, but stop that, homie, not even. Couldn't have that even if I stopped breathing. Don't hope for that, my ghost to be poking and still. Read my will. My boys get it all, no gimmicks, but I'm here to let you know my jump off is off limits. Life and love, you're made for a thug. Once I settle in, you made me a gentleman.
You and I bonafide. Playing your way, I feel inside.
So deep. I got you back.
We in this life. You and I bonafide.
We the truth.
Tell me life on your side.
I'm by your side, baby.
Anything for you, anything for me. It's a love thing, baby.
Game is crazy, diamonds on stilettos. Travel through these ghettos, drop the top. Let them see what I'm working with, came to win. How the dawn keeps the fawn, the blowing and wind. Her aura is magnetic, that attracts loot. She look Wall Street, briefcase, pinstripe suit. Your hair up in a bun, spectacles on her nose. Any deal she makes, my business grows. They say a woman's never satisfied till she had me to fill it to her heart's content. Is my blessing, God gave you to me, and words can't describe what you do for me. Your CL is love me or love me not, when no one can match this chemistry we got. Why they all call you CL's wife? Cause all we got is each other, a bond for life.
You and I bonafide. Playing your way, I feel inside.
So deep. I got you back.
We in this life. You and I bonafide.
We the truth.
Tell me life on your side.
I'm by your side, baby.
Anything for you, anything for me. It's a love thing, baby.
What?
It's a love thing, baby. Yeah.
Show.
Cause I got you, babe.
I got you.
I love you.
Love you.
Say that it's a love thing, yeah.